kind of a wild weekend. It was senior night on Thursday night, which was it's always an emotional night, especially for our group. They're pretty close, so it was cool to see them feel honored and get all the love. And there's a big crowd there to kind of send them off the right way, which is something we always want to do. And went down in that game and fought our way back and gave up a goal in the last 5 seconds, which is kind of unheard of in soccer. It's like a half-court shot in basketball, but just the resilience to even get back to where we were was pretty special against Colorado State, and then kind of a heartbreaker to lose that way. And then the same thing happening on Sunday. We did not start the way we would have liked to start. I think there's probably a lot of reasons that factor into that, but didn't start the way we want to start, and this team fights back again, and 2 unbelievable goals to get ourselves a tie against Wyoming. And now we have to beat San Diego State, which is no small task. They're quite good this year in the Mountain West, and we're always up for it. Like, that's always a fun game. It's been a great rivalry since we've been here, and to go to their home field and go give it our best shot for a chance to play in the tournament is what we'll do on Thursday night. So the team's up for it. We're ready for it. We'll travel tomorrow and get out there and give them everything we have.
Seems like you've had their number over the last few years. I mean, what stands out just about playing a team like that and you guys just rising to that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, I think San Diego State's been probably the top of the conference the most consistently over any team, certainly since I've been here. And I think when you have that, like, everybody knows they have to give them their best shot. Like, San Diego's probably always the favorite, no matter who they're playing in the conference. So our team, in the past has been up for it. There's a couple times that they've whooped us, and a couple times we've given that back. But that's what you want. You want to be right there in the mix with them. So I know the girls will be up for it.
How do you communicate, it's coming down to this, to players that may not have been through this before? They're not seasoned veterans.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, because it's the losses can feel a little bit heavier, or the ties can feel a little bit heavier when you know the ramifications of it. And I think sometimes when you're a young player, you're just kind of excited and enjoying it, and excited to be in the mix of it. But the only way to learn is to go through it. And I think this season, certainly, like, I can't think of a scenario that we haven't faced. And that's probably a good thing, even though, as a coach, you want to win every game you play. But I do think it's a good thing to be tested, and I do think it's a good thing for players to learn how to, we can't start in a deficit. Like, we're resilient, but let's not be resilient. Let's just be good and start with a 2-0 win instead of coming back and tying 2-2. But yeah, I definitely think the more seasoned players understand the ramifications of every point matters in our conference. And if this year doesn't prove it, I don't know what does. I mean, there's still, I think, only 2 teams are eliminated at this point.
So, Coach, your team can come back and fight deep in a game or in a match, but what is it going to take to kind of come out and start strong? What do you think?
If you have that answer, then you can come to the locker room. No, it's something we've been talking about, for a large part of the season, is how do we start and not I honestly think sometimes they care so much that it can be a little bit paralyzing, that they're trying so hard to not have these same things happen that it stops them from playing. Like, they're reacting instead of anticipating, and then all of a sudden the other team scores and it's like the pressure's off and all of a sudden we play. But it's something we've been talking about all season, and I think the seniors have tried a lot of different things to kind of fix it, and they'll try again on Thursday. I mean, it's just keep working at it, but they won't quit. They won't quit. This team will never give up, and that to me is a sign of a really strong program.
You talk about San Diego State, being consistent, being at the top of the conference. You got to leave it all out there Thursday night. Do you feel like that's been the case still all year, just with the respect that UNM has garnered, that teams are really giving that free, you guys every night?
Yeah, I mean, teams celebrate like they win the World Cup when they come here and tie us, and that's a huge testament to what the program has been in the past. But you'll have freshmen like, why are they so excited? They just tied UNM. I mean, so it's a high compliment, but it's definitely, I mean, San Diego State has carried that much higher than us since we've been here. So that'll be the goal, that we can rise to the occasion and kind of shock them a little bit. But yeah, they're a class program. They always have been.